Stop reading self-help books because you probably do not need another one. If you read 3, 4 of them, you probably don't need another one. Are you someone that has a really big stack of self-help books like this? And then you keep looking for another self-help book to buy because you say you're gonna read it, and then it either goes in the pile of the unread books, or you read it and then you go and purchase another one. This right here is the trap of the self-help book. Now, I love these books, this stack of books. There's a lot of good information in them. I've read most of them. There's a couple in there that I haven't read yet because they just went to the pile and I was like, I'm not gonna read those. But I like the information that a lot of them present. But there are some issues that end up becoming this trap, this self-help book trap. One of the biggest issues that I've ran into is a lot of these books present the same information just in different ways because it's, of course, by different authors. So, they see life and whatever it is that they're presenting in their own way. They are going through life through their own lens, their own perspectives, and so they're going to tell stories in a different way, but it ultimately is going to end up being kind of the same thing depending on what we're talking about here. This is present in a lot of self-help books, though. I have found that out, and I haven't even read that many. Like, if you're someone that's read like 20 or 30, that's a lot of books, and I bet you've come across this many times over by that point. And honestly, I wouldn't even say that this is the biggest issue. The biggest issue is that you keep reading these books because you think that you need to figure out your life. You have this issue or multiple issues, and you're trying to solve it like a puzzle. So you keep reading these books thinking that more knowledge is the solution, which, if we're talking about a math equation, maybe that would be the case. You got a set of things you got to do. If you don't know how to do it, you got to figure out how to do it. It would maybe make sense. But in this case, it's life, and life is not linear. So trying to solve a problem in life through an analytical approach and trying to just gain more and more information is really not helping. Now, maybe the first couple that you read, or maybe some very specific books here and there that are targeted, like this book's very small, this one's targeted for one specific purpose. Read something like that and it's gonna have some good information. But once you keep reading some of these over and over, like these 2 books right here, The Slight Edge and Atomic Habits, they're both really good books, but I don't think you necessarily, honestly, if you just read those two books, and then maybe this one, Who Moved My Cheese, boom, good to go. But by continuously trying to read more and more and more, you're honestly just delaying the inevitable of actually taking action. You just can keep consuming information without doing anything with that information. So with these 2 issues in mind, issue number 1 being that most of these books repeat a lot of the same information, just presented in different ways. And then the issue number 2, which is the bigger issue, you just continue to consume information without actually taking action. I would say pick a couple books. If you haven't read any self-help books, find maybe some of the top rated ones. And honestly, for me, I would say The Slight Edge and Atomic Habits. Those are really good books. Those 2 I would recommend. And then out of this stack that I have, it's not a very big stack. This one's actually very good. I don't know if a lot of people know this book. Those 3 books right there. And then maybe this one, The Dip. The Dip is really good. It's a tiny book, so it'll take you like 2 hours or something. It's so small. But pick a couple books that are highly rated, people talk really well about, and then if you really, really have to, reread those books. But what I want you to do is pick at least just one thing from one of the books and promise to yourself that you're going to do that thing. So instead of finishing the book and picking up the next one, really reflect on what you read from that first book, right? And then say, I'm gonna do this thing that the book told me to do. I'm actually gonna try it. I'm gonna implement it and then see what happens. You never know what's gonna happen. So stop reading self-help books because you probably do not need another one. If you read 3, 4 of them, you probably don't need another one. Either reread the ones you've already read, or actually, the most ideal thing would be to actually take action based on what that book says. You're gonna get a lot more out of it than by reading another book. That's what you need to do. Take action from the books that you've already read. Don't read another one. And that is how you escape the trap of the self-help book.